Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 in Parkitect. In the last episode we took a look at the scenario campaign for Coral Island, which opens up Mystic Desert area where you can do the Nova Labs scenario or the Mystic Oasis. So let's take a look at Mystic Oasis. A rich Arabian landowner wants to turn his fertile desert oasis into a blossoming theme park. Can you turn a mirage into reality with the little available land, blazing hot climate and the rich but demanding guests? Have at least 400 guests in your park. Have a happiness rating of at least 75%. Optional goals: have 100 guests in your park. Optional goal: have 200 guests in your park. Since we need 400 for the scenario, these are going to unlock something as you go through. I believe they both opened up rides during the scenario. Can't quite remember. It's a while since I did it actually. Optional: complete all non-optional goals by the end of March Year 2 to get the gold medal. So that's do these two. 400 guests and happiness rating of 75%. I managed to get a gold medal. Yay! So I'm really pleased with this. So let's take a look at the park that I built to complete the Mystic Oasis scenario. And then in the next episode we'll take a look at the Nova Labs scenario, just up above it, the sci-fi one. So here we are. Let's zoom, not in, out kitty. Let's zoom out so you can see the park that I've built in its entirety. So let's have a little scoot around, shall we? So the entranceway for your park is up here. So the guests come in through this long path here to this little building here, which comes with the scenario when you first start, this little starting building. And then you can see the edge of the map, look, for the land that you've got. So it's almost a square, but not quite, if you see what I mean. It's a little oblongy shape. Not quite regular shape, but it doesn't give you tons and tons of land. But I found that it actually worked quite well in a fairly compact area, you see. So let's take a look at the whole of my park, if I can squidge it all into the... And there you go, that's the park that I built for this scenario and got the gold medal with. So let's take a closer look at the things that we've got here, shall we? Now if you think about what they said originally, they said that it's a very hot climate, as you can see, because we're in the middle of a desert and it's really sunny and bright, and that means that you're definitely going to need shade for your guests. And there's beautiful palm trees on the entryway in, look, and not a lot of anything else. So deserts don't tend to grow a lot of foliage, so you could just go with really minimal, a few palm trees if you wanted. So just off to the side here you've got the deliveries, and I love the fact that they've actually got the deliveries thing written in here. So this is where your goods in starts, and here's where your guests come in. And this beautiful sort of Arabic themed styled house with the little dome on it. It's a lovely little design, and I love the fact that they've added these little things right on the rears, like the little pots and things, and maybe somewhere to... Is this meant to dry your clothes and things on maybe? But I just think it's really cute. And look, everything's got these little awnings and overhangs and canopies and things around it to create a bit of shade around the edge of the house. So I do kind of like that. So if we come around, you see again on the back they've got the awnings again. And lots of these flat roofs, look, and these little tiny arched window shapes. And look, there's a little... Oh, go again. They've got these little barrels at the side here. See, this is what the decoration that they put in, and then these little tiny cactus aloe vera style of plants. Look, and the little shrubby bush things on the top there. And oh, you can't see it there. I'm just trying to show you there. There's another one there in this little alcove section here. Look. So over here is your goods in section. So I've boxed this in so that the guests can't see it, because remember they said they were going to be rich and fussy. So if they're rich, they're not going to be too worried about prices, but they are going to be worried about things that will upset them. So it's going to need to look good, you're going to have to hide the back of house things really well, and they're going to have to add lots of shade around as you go. So right inside here I decided to build us, since we've got the deliveries, build us a nice big food court right at the entrance, and build a little bit of a themed main street, because these are going to be quite fussy guests. So I've built a very entrance style designed, inspired little building here for the shops. So if I drop the scenery so that you can see what we've got inside it. So I've added a staff room at the back here, and we've got a balloon shop, burgers, soft drinks, snow cones and pizza. I did have to research a couple of these. I think it was these two that I had to research, and these possibly the ones we started with. Like I said, it's a little while since I did this scenario, played the scenario, because I'm afraid life's had a lot of things going on in it recently, so I've managed to play this quite a while ago and I haven't had a chance to film it for you yet. And then just off to the side I've added some toilets right here next to the magic flying carpet, and that of course is hidden inside the building. So if I put the walls back up where you can see where the shops and toilets are, see, with this is the toilet block, so there's one toilet here and one here, and I've added these side structures so that the back of house things are hidden from the guests. And then this building is the one with all the shops in it, and the staff can get out just here. Now if we rotate slightly over here, you can see in this direction that I've built a little blank sort of castle style building, because I didn't want everything to just be these like domed flat roof structures. I thought it'd be nice to have something that's a little bit different to that, so I've added this little castle inspired structure because I wanted to play around with the castle design bits just to see what we could get. And then here again we've got another little flat building. As you can see, there's a staff path hidden right here, and if you look at the roof I think you can guess what's hidden inside there. So if I drop the scenario down, here's the staff training room, and like I said, over this direction we've got the staff rest room, and now over here we've got the staff training room, so that we can train our staff up to help deal with these fussy guests and make them more comfortable in the area, because we've got better trained staff, so they should work better. And in the little alcoves and spaces around here I've added a few sort of pot plants, pretty little bushes. Most of it's added inside boxes because I mean we're in a desert, so we don't really have flat ground for things to grow in, so having things in shrub boxes and tubs and pots seems like the best thing to do, because if it wilts in the desert you would just whisk it out of the way, try and revive it, and you can bring in a different plant that looks really good. I've added a few little aloe bushes and little shrubby bushes around the edges of the buildings and things. So if we spin around here you can see I have added a few little trees here and there just to decorate the little corners, and I've kept adding the awnings and things as we go around the building. On this big tower here I've added a clock face so that the guests know what time it is, and I've got a couple of little clocks on the edge of this building in this little space where we can't really add a shop because the staff can't get to it. So I've used this for seating here and some clocks and some lighting so that the people can see everything they need to. As I said, we've got this interestingly shaped toilet block here to make things look a little bit different. Again, shrubs and boxes and things, little planters. And then off to the side here we've got a queue for our flying carpet ride. Oh no, I clicked the person, not the... They're calling it the magic carpet. There we go, the magic carpet. And on the queues I've used these canopies, and I've used them in red and white and alternated the colours because I just thought that looked bright and fresh. And I've got a thing for red, I think. I seem to gravitate to red quite a lot, reds and pinks. So I thought red and white just looks really bright and fresh and colourful and cheerful. So I just used that. And then keeping in the theme with the magic carpet and the fact that we're in an oasis, I've added quite a lot of the palm trees around to encourage the decorating rating to go up. And I've added a few trees and things behind these buildings so that the people, when they're on the rides and in the queues and on this drop tower right next door, can see lots of foliage, and that kind of fences off the fence, if you see what I mean. The people on the rides see a lot less of the fence because of these tall trees. Though I know in the desert getting these tall trees probably isn't realistic, but I wanted to get those ratings up for the decor, so that's quite good. And I've added in like a tree stump because, like I said, everything's just going to die in this desert, isn't it? And then here we've got the seating. If I drop the scenery, you'll be able to see that I've added in seating under these canopies so that they've got somewhere to sit in the shade, and then just added in a few lights, these little flat lights and lots of bins around to keep the place clean and tidy. So you can choose to sit in the sun or to sit in the shade, and I like the fact that they've got lots of places to hide in the shade. So if you come further down this main path here, off to the side you've now got the drop tower here, and again canopies all around for the guests. And off to the other side of the path we have the pirate ship, which is right on the edge of our little pond in the middle of our oasis. That's the only place really you could put a boat, but it's not really a lot of space, is it, for a boat, but just enough to make the pirate theme not too crazy, don't you think? And off to the side of the pirate ship you've got another path leading off in this direction, which leads us to our jumper, which the guests seem to quite like. Look there, oh, that one's got the hands up. Did you see that? She had her hands up. I like it when they do that. And that one's got her hands up there, look. Whee! Hands in the air like you just don't care. Whee! And then further round we have our helter-skelter here. And we do have a little queue, look. People waiting patiently to go on the helter-skelter. Keep coming down. We have the wipeout, which is just finished. And that's the one that spins round and then tips up. And again, we're keeping all of these shade covers on all of the queues to keep people safe. And right next to the wipeout we have our entrance station. Quite a simple little station here, look, on 2 levels. So at the 2 sides we've got these low white roofs, look, there and there, and then in the centre we've got the taller red roof for where the coaster itself actually starts. So let's follow the, oh no, it didn't follow. Oh, why didn't you follow? Follow. No, not those guys. The ones going up the little lift hill. There. Can we follow these guys, please? Thank you. So, we've got a big top hat as we start in this coaster. And, oh look, one of them's got their hands up. Somebody's a thrill seeker. And a full loop. And another loop, twisting part way out so that you don't hang upside down for too long. And there's a brake run just in case we've not got the timings right, but that one just kept going straight through, so that gives us a bit more capacity on a coaster. And there's the, oh gosh, that was upside down for a really long time, hanging around there. And whee round on your sides, and brake run, and back into the station. Quite a thrilling little ride. And this one's called the Test Flight State, and as you can tell it's probably one that I used from the blueprints. Like I said, it's a while since I actually built this one, so I'm not 100% sure. I do think it was a pre-made one though, to be honest. So this is the little area that we've just looked at. You've got the crazy coaster, lots of thrills on that coaster. And then these are the rides that we've just looked at in this section of the park. And if you come along from the wipeout, you can see we've got one of the G-locks. Now that is a ride you would never get me on personally. It's just too crazy. I think that's just a bit too crazy, that one. Now is that starting or stopping there? I think it might be stopping. So we can't see what it does. It spins up and down like crazy. In real life there's no way you'd get me on a ride like that. Jumper, fine. Maybe a wipeout. Not a G-lock. Definitely not a G-lock. I do love coasters, but to be honest, I don't like being hung upside down too many times. And then if we come further along here, so if you come past the wipeout and the helter-skelter, you come to the G-lock in the corner here, which is possibly the most intense ride I think in the park. Or at least I would say that was the most intense ride in the park. And then if we come a little bit further along here, you can hear, oh, you can hear all the shooting and things. Can you hear the noises? Oh, that's quite cool. So we've got one of those gun battle, oh, I forgot what they're called. Boat battle things. Oh, what's it called? What's it called? I forgot what it's called now. The boat battle the splash battle. That's it, splash battle. That's what it's called, splash battle. So if we hide the scenery, this is the station where the boats come in. It's splash battle, isn't it? That's weird. Why has it got German speech patterns on it? That's very odd. Because did I use someone else's blueprint for the style of the circuit? Maybe I did actually. Maybe I did, because that would make sense of why it's German if I use someone else's. I must be honest, in these campaign modes I've often used other people's pre-made things. The ones that you find straight inside the game. You know, if you pop up the things here, look, and you look for water rides. Let's have a look. So splash battle, and these blueprints that they've put up here. Yeah, here I go. This is it. Look, Altes Wasserworks. That's the one. Look. So I've done it without the scenery. And just used their track layout and then added my own scenery to it. So it's quite a neat little ride, which is why I picked that particular one, I believe. So you just come out of the station here and you just do a little loop here and then back, because that actually fits quite nicely in the area that I've got, because with this little tiny oasis, you've not got much space, so anything that's quite compact. So I looked at the patterns that they'd already got in the blueprints and used the ones that were nice and compact and would fit in the space that I've got. So I have altered the terrain just a tiny bit here, look, to make this fit, because you can see it's kind of a bit jiggy in the corners, because I think this is the first time I tried to use the terrain manipulation, so I wasn't quite sure how to use it, so I've ended up with a few janky edges. But that's actually allowed me to put little targets up on the edge here, look, and then I've built a few little places, little tiny mock buildings, to be able to add lots of targets for the splash battle. And I've got targets here on one of these round shapes, look, and then on the trees and on the bushes. And I've added lots and lots of these little pots and amphoras and things around, just to add a little bit of decor. Used all the different styles and shapes of palm trees just to add a little bit more decor. Added in buoys and buoys, added targets to the buoys. And these bulrushes are really cool to add to your splash battle. You can place them individually, so you can put them wherever you want, and it adds a nice little bit of decorating to your splash battle. And there, the big whale. I kept seeing this big whale in the scenery decorations and thinking, how can you use that in a practical fashion? Well, look, I've separated off the little dinghy boats from the splash battle, even if they're trying to get into them, look. And then we've been able to add targets to him, so he's got a useful purpose as well as just scenery. You can use him as a target for the splash battle. And then again, a few more buoys and a life raft, just for a little bit more decor, a few more bulrushes, just to make the whole thing pretty. Right, so let's zoom around here. The station again is on 3 levels. I've used that as a common theme throughout the stations in this particular park. This time they're all the same colours but on different levels, so we've just got a slight lift up in the corners. And we've got some open archways so you can see out into the splash battle. And the back of the building here has lots of targets on it. Look, we've added an extra little bit for more targets over here. And there you can see them all having a load of fun on the splash battle. Big amphora there, little half shape here. Use these little sharp edges, look, as targets, so that although it looked a little bit odd when I first built it, then I used all these little targets on it, so it looks really cool. I'm very happy with it, and added a little bit of a rock in there for a little bit more decor, a few more bulrushes around the corners, and lots of palm trees and things as you come in and out of the station. Again, we've got the covers on, and over here we've added a second food court, because this is the opposite end of the park. And let me show you which of the things we've got here. So we've got a hamburger place, we've got pizza, soft drinks, snow cones and balloons, and we've also added toilets in at the end of the building. Incorporated this into the main building, so it's one big block. We've got the toilets at the end, and then in that second section at the back here we've got space for the staff to wander up and down, and we've added a trash chute and one of those transit stations for the goods to come here, so that the little staff man just only has to walk to here in order to be able to restock the shop. So he's just took something to the pizza shops, coming back again here. Bruce, you're doing a good job, Bruce. He's walking, look, he's walking really fast, look, delivering everything. He's doing a good job, man. There's one of our security guards there, look. Who's this? James Bell. Hello, James. How are you doing? Are you having a good day? Hope there's not too many things for you to do today. Hope you're having a nice, quiet, relaxing day. And then as you continue to walk down here, so you've got a big circuit in the path. Lots of places to sit as we go. Oh, wait. We need a janitor. Could you please empty this trash bin, please, Mr. Janitor? Thank you. Much appreciated. Don't like the trash being left. And then we can come a little bit further down, and then this path leads back to the main entrance again. So as we come down here, if we come this way, this is the access for the bumper boats right here. This has not got a cover on this particular station because it's right on the water. I just didn't think it needed it, but we do have the sunshades on the queue. More places to sit around the edges here. And this is the end of the path here as we get to the teacups, which is the most far out ride. And I know you're going to say that why doesn't that stop where the entrance and exit to this ride are, Kitty? Well, you've got a nice view out over the bumper boats and a seat here where you can sit and watch. So if you didn't fancy going on the bumper boats, this would be the perfect vantage point to watch the people that did. So we've got the teacups here with people coming on and off. That's quite popular for a teacups. Lovely little ride if you've got kids. Absolutely beautiful little ride to jump on with the kids. They always love that. They always used to love it when I was little. And then if we come back this way past the bumper boats, as you can see, our entrance and exit here to the Twister. Love a good Twister. Like the speed. Don't make me sick. Might make you squash the person who's in the car with you if you're not careful. Always remember, fattest person on the outside, smallest, lightest person on the inside. Whatever you do, don't put a kiddie on the outside. Always put the biggest person. So if you're a family, always put dad on the outside and the smallest kid on the inside, because the gravity pushes you outwards, and you definitely don't want a little kid on the outside because they might get injured. So biggest or fattest person on the outside, smallest, lightest person on the inside. Always do it that way, because you will get pushed to the side and get squished if you're not careful. Oh look, raining. See, now that makes sense to have umbrellas in here, doesn't it? Everybody's going to run round now because it's raining. And if we come along, oh, we can see everything with lights on, can't we, when it's raining? Let me zoom out so you can see everything with lights on. That looks really good with the lights. Pirate ship looks quite good with the lights. That looks really good with lights. I think I could do with some spotlights on the coaster though, because that doesn't look so good, but this looks good, don't you think? Helter Skelters always look really good in the dark because they've got so much light in. Oh, look at these buoys have got lights. That's really cool, isn't it? There you go. So that's what it looks like in the light. So that then has gone all the way around because the Twister was our last one, and then we're back to the drop tower again. So that is the park that I built for this particular scenario. Hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!